Yo, BJ Gaddour here. We had a VIP member that's battling big toe arthritis, and it's making it difficult to do split squats, particularly for the back leg. So I'm gonna show you a bunch of stuff to troubleshoot it, not only just modifications, adjustments during the workout, but pre-post workout as well. Watch the whole video. Be sure to like, share, subscribe. Now, a couple things. One of the most important things to talk about with the feet, the toes, regardless if it's just the big toe only, is we gotta create some separation. If these toes are locked down and close and tight, we're not gonna get enough of a base of support, just like our fingers, right? Locked in, unnecessary pressure and wear and tear is happening on these joints, and we don't get the benefit of that wide base of support. You get better joint position, more muscle activation, less pain. So a couple things you can do. You can add toe spacers and just literally put these on your toes, and that can actually create some space, and you can wear these while you're at work, resting, during some lighter workouts. I actually use these during some squatting drills and even a light walk I'll do to help kind of bake in that separation. Other options include, when we're just talking about the big toe only, you can do this with a rubber band. Only thing is that with enough tension, it'll pop. So you can go double band, get a couple of these bands going, or you can go with a mini band. And what I'll do is just put them right like this around the big toe, just like that. And then I'll actually try to create as much separation in the feet as possible. And we're trying to stretch these guys. So just initially creating some separation, and I like to even do some rolls. I can pin one big toe down and just work on some extensions on that toe and then switch sides. Just isolating that position. And then you can even kind of work on your squat stance and just do isometric holds while kind of creating some toe separation. But again, we gotta create some separation in the toe. And these are drills, again, you can work outside of the workout, work into the warm up. You can do some, this is great too when you actually do some extensions there too. You gotta maintain that isometric contraction. So that's just one great drill to work in regarding the big toe. You can't overlook the plantar fascia, the overall, all those articulations in the feet. So double the cross ball or peanut, 2 tennis balls in a sock works as well, and have a stick for self-assistance so you really load it up and just work on sweeping that plantar fascia and just relaxing and open up that tissue. By the way, 2 to 5+ minutes, up to 10 in a hot bucket of water will result in the best results. You come in cold with arthritis, it's not manageable. You gotta heat before the workout, ice, or cold after. And I'm just digging in. I can even kind of work on the metatarsals themselves, creating some motion through the big knuckle of the big toe. The knuckle of the big toe actually helps take pressure off the big toe itself. So if I come there and you kind of see straight on, just actually working on some ankle mobility, some kind of driving the knee forward. I can even work on curling and extending the toe, all right? And then really just working the inside of the foot, oh yeah. Try to break up any sort of tension, tightness in those feet. 2 to 5 minutes per foot is ideal pre-workout. Outside of that, just a couple drills. We talked specifically of the split squat or the lunge. Why is it so problematic? Well, again, if you can't get extension in the toe, and again, they're tight and the foot is just locked down, the mechanics are bad, we don't have enough spread, it's a lot of pressure. When you get right about here, you start to feel some pain in the top of the big toe, going through that full range split squat position, right? So one thing I like to do is start at the bottom. And what I like to do, this also helps with just knee pain or just overall knee bend, is I'll sandwich that lacrosse ball between the leg, calf and hamstring, come back, and so this will help with your overall knee bend. So arthritis tends to travel and spread with age, so just kind of get ahead of it. And then I can also work on basically getting some flexion into that, basically stretching the shins, but also tying in the toes as well. So you want to stretch it both ways, kind of working on that position, even just kind of sinking into it. Obviously you can work on both sides here. And then I can tie in just the toe itself, working on that back foot. And again, mind your training surface. Hard wooden floors or cement, you've got to start just almost always doing things on a slightly padded mat. Gymnastics padding is also ideal. Even an ab mat, you can put the back toe on. And I'm just working on trying to get some extension in that toe in the bottom shape. If I can create this pain-free down here, then when I'm actually in that position, it's not going to be as problematic. But just work on this before the workout. And even just a drill I love to do, and you can actually self-assist. Again, arthritis, you gotta warm up, sub body weight to kind of get into the motions, but I can hold on to this stick and just work on kind of basically what I call low lunge lift off. So you're self-assisting down, but you're kind of locking in your positioning and you're creating that strength and grip and positioning. Sometimes the leg might be too far away. You gotta get more underneath your body, and I can in this position kind of work on some stretching and movement. Inhale down, exhale up when you stand. All right, trying to create some basic, mechanics at the bottom, getting those good 90-90 shapes. Now, slant boards are super effective. So one way to work it is toe elevated facing. And what I can do in this case is essentially move this, get a nice good slant board setup, or if you don't have a slant board itself, take a dumbbell handle, something that you can just edge off, even a curb or a slow step. What we're trying to do is really load up the midfoot, and then again, we're gonna work some side-to-side action. I can even add some rotational action to it. Work on kind of pumping forward, just trying to create more motion in the ankle, the midfoot, and ultimately the big toe itself. One of my favorite drills is kind of tying in toe drive. Because by the way, if it bothers you on a back toe split squat, it also kind of bothers you pushing off when you're running or those types of things, so it kind of ties in. Is essentially a toe elevated hip hinge to knee flexion. All right, so, and you're trying to actually get driven onto that big toe at the top. 5 to 10 reps pre-workout. Inhale down, use that self-assistance so you can really get that good positioning then. And then we come over here. So now we're treating the back foot. So we've got the back foot positioned, and here I can actually kind of, again, have some wall assistance or some stick, just so you can spend more time and really work on it. So now I'm trying to get as much weight as I can onto the back foot. Again, trying to kind of floss it side to side a bit, and then work on foot flat to extend it. Foot flat to extend it. Kind of load the hip into it a bit. Just working those back toe mechanics, kind of push-offs. And by the way, doing split squats like this will actually be less extreme of an angle for the back toe at the lowering. It does kind of shift more weight onto the front leg. So that's actually why some people actually feel benefits going rear foot elevated squat, even if you're going on the back toe. A slight elevation puts a little more weight to the front leg and puts a little less demand on the back leg. And you can kind of self-assist like this, and even kind of just in between reps, just kind of work on that. And that's just an option to hack. I like if I use a slant board like that, put it up against a wall so it doesn't slide on you, okay? From there, and this is what we talked about, this gentleman said, it only bothers me when my toes in the ground. When I do something like a Bulgarian split squat where the rear foot is elevated, not as problematic, yeah, because the toe is not into that aggressive extension, but this is also just a great drill to improve your split squat lunge form. You can use a ball, a box, a bench, a chair, an ottoman. You can do this against the wall, so you're creating more range of motion, but I'm also kind of working that, that actual stretch into the shin compartment, all the way into the foot, coming back like this, also open to the quad and the hip flexor. There's a restriction here, even though you're having toe pain, your form's gonna be messed up. It might be kind of attributing to a little extra pressure through the toe because you're not, the movement itself is just, you gotta fine tune that form and technique a bit. And then just again, don't be afraid to self-assist. Whether it be early sets or warm-ups, only use as much assistance as you need, knowing that, use less assistance eccentrically where you're stronger, more assistance coming up. Coming away from that, now let's look at your back toe here. And this is where I really think there's a lot of benefit to just start being comfortable with the self-assistance. And again, I could take a ab mat. That might just be all I need in some cases to take some stress off that big toe. Just initially, just work pinning it down and just start to practice. The benefit of self-assistance is I can put more weight onto my back leg a bit and really emphasize the back leg, but I can assist so I don't have any pain in the knee or the big toe, but I can start to just play with that. I can play with a little more on the front, all right? And I can work on just in between reps, driving some extension, coming down. Even I can take a pause there and just work on coming back through and getting some motion through the toe. So again, a lot of this stuff has to be done just like with arthritis. Now you've got more work to do before workouts, after workouts, between workouts. And then in the workouts themselves, soft padded surface, play around with that back toe elevation. And again, you can go, we don't want to totally modify because you can't get through life without pushing out the back toe. But if it's a really bad day and you got to go more Bulgarian split squat style where the rear foot's elevated, you can do that obviously, but try to do more self-assisted work where we are just kind of getting the body comfortable, even just kind of pulsing in that end range, trying to just connect to the big toe, but stay down in that big stretch position. Just work the end range position, switch sides. And again, if I did this without the assistance, I can't spend as much time and I likely might feel some pain. But once you kind of get it going, especially with that bucket of hot water before, I'm telling you right now, will make such a difference in just kind of getting more motion and heat into the area. Even just isometrically holding the bottom shape or going between all the way down and just a little bit off, that hover, inhale down, exhale up, creating strength and position that you're struggling with. Outside of the workout, again, not affiliated, but footwear is important. You don't know, you got arthritis all day long and these hard floors can make a difference. So I love these, I wear these all day, these UFOs recovery slides. They almost got kind of a rebounding effect in them. They feel great. And they also have I walk in these. They're not really designed to do much other training, but just a really cushioning. You need that cushioning, take pressure off those joints. You gotta keep moving. Outside of that, final thing, whether it's a rebound or a trampoline, getting in sand, a gymnastics mats are great too. You can also do an ab mat. This is what's called a sand dune stepper, which is supposed to kind of mimic sand, but also gives you a rebound effect of a trampoline. And pre-workout, just doing some bounces, doing some calf raises, toe raises, some rolls, just trying to drive that. I can also, again, because it's so soft, but also because of all the motion I can create, I can really kind of corkscrew, or if you will, into the ground and working that big toe mobilization. And again, it's so nice and padded, but doing little jumps or bounces, even running on it, is a way to get some blood into the area without pain, low impact. And again, the more sweat, the more stretch, the more fluid and lubrication into the joints, the more they're gonna be able to bend and move with you. So hopefully this helps. Any questions, post in the comments below. Please like, share, and subscribe. And good luck with that big toe.